said it before. I said it again. If I am like, it's late at night, I still want to do it a little more. Anyway, this guy separated chapter 2, because it flowed better. What a hero that this man acknowledges that the long chapters are just not great for your flow. They ruin it. It's like cavities. 8 days later. It's 7:30, and I'm currently sweating my ass off running down the sidewalk like a madman. For the past week, I've been hauling my lanky ass to school every day to get there early. As I finally reach the school steps, I take a second to breathe. There's a bit more Anon. You can do it. Taking a swig from my water bottle, I power through the rest of my run and make my way to the school gardens. When I arrive, I collapse onto the first empty bench I see. My entire body feels like it's on fire now, but internally I feel victorious over my accomplishment. Over my accomplice? Over your accomplishment. Accomplice is something else. As I gulp down the rest of my water bottle, the person I've done so casually strolls over. I look like shit, dweeb. Fang teases as he takes a seat on the bench across from me. Impressive that they have opposing benches like that. Yep, for the past week I've been jogging to school so I can talk to him. Because Nasa drives the two to school, Fang always arrives early. Because of schedule. Rephrase this, because you're saying because Nasa drives school because of his schedule. Because Nasa drives to school, and he has to be there early, Fang always arrives, or something like that. Clumsy. This means this is the only time of day when I can talk to him one-on-one outside of class. Granted, it's only maybe 20 minutes at a time, but it's a huge freaking pain to get here early. But I think it's worth it. You can just leave home earlier, man. God, I'm such a faggot sometimes. So, not only is Anon 6 feet tall, he's now also becoming buff, like in Ending 3, and all I can say is I'm starting to get a little disappointed by the thematic cohesion that the story is telling, because, again, it's kind of shifting towards a straight relationship without explicitly saying it. And it's gonna get worse this chapter, if I recall correctly. Although my knowledge of this is starting to run out, so soon it'll be all new for me. I try to respond to Fang's teasing, but I can only gasp for air from exhaustion. Which only elicits more teasing from Fang as he watches me sputter. You know, Dweeb, you don't have to do this every day, right? Fang says with a smirk, though there's a hint of concern in his voice. Fuck, I can't worrying about me. He already has enough on his plate. No, it's alright, Fang. Plus, I need the exercise. Sure, as I get up to throw away my water bottle, I am giggles at my back. Just buy a fucking permanent bottle, man. I guess it's way cheaper, or just reuse your water bottles. I know it's not good for you because the plastic, whatever, but it's a hell of a lot better than fucking spending all this money on water bottles. Exercise? What are you planning on joining a track team or something? Fang asks. I felt my chest tighten from his question. There's another reason why I've taken up jogging to school every morning. So I'll be ready when I leave for service this summer. I love, you know how I complained about how in Tory game Inko kept hamming up, oh no, I gotta go to St. Hammond. I don't want to go to St. Hammond. The fact that they're hemming this up feels more significant because this is like actually a big deal for Anon, and we know it's a big deal. Unlike the St. Hammond stuff where he just feels like a whiny baby. And like character-wise, he doesn't act like enough of a whiny baby for it to really work. But I can't worry about that now. I need to focus on the present. Yeah, so something like that. I explain sheepishly to the back of my neck. Fang smiles and shakes his head. Listen, I know I complained a lot about characters rubbing the back of their neck, but in this context, it works, right? I mean, I could see it happening anyway when someone explains sheepishly, but I said it before, people often do this, and they're just over-explaining the dramatics, the theatrics, that isn't needed. But here, I kind of like it. It kind of suits the very specific touch he's going for. Well, you might as well quit now, dweeb. Skinny like you isn't going to make it to the team full of dinos. Again, I feel like there's a huge race superiority section that this story is just glossing over because the people who wrote this realize that shit's awkward and has nothing to do with the story, which is why I'm going to write that story if I ever fucking finish anything. Fang chides me. I thought about that with my military career too. They probably grade humans and dinosaurs differently for the physical stuff. I mean, at that point, why would they ever hire a human, right? What do you have to offer? You think you can outrun me? I challenge. Fang's expression flicks for a second before settling on a confident smirk. I don't think so. I know so. I mean, you've been running for a week, Anon, and you were extraordinarily lanky before that, as far as most representations of you are concerned. So I mean, Fang gets driven to school. So when would Fang get the experience bar up? Okay, Fang 2 can play that game. We go now? Go towards the wings on his back. You're gonna use those to fly ahead of me? I mean, that's not really related to running, but I joke back, but something's not right. Almost immediately after pointing out his wings. Whoa, man, they got some real bad. That apostrophe should be a comma right here. Why is Fang even here? Why isn't this just almost immediately pointing out his wings and then his face? His face changes from a self-satisfied smile to a look of genuine hurt. His wings fold around him defensively, like a shield, as he recoils inward. I messed up again, didn't I? But it's not like last time at the science lab when I called him he. Back then he was... I like how you point this out and you still use the wrong pronouns. That is so... that is so E1 Anon. Back then he was angry and venomous, even willing to hit me. Willing to even hit me, that is so awkward. Right now he just looks so hurt, like he's a woman instead of a man. Like he's androgynous. Like that point from the previous chapter doesn't actually fucking work. I try to get closer to him, but I can hear him start to hyperventilate. Oh shit, we're going there, huh? Oh god damn it, I really missed it. And hyperventilation is like a really high stage of fuck it up. It's advanced screwing up. I'd rather be punched in the face again than see him like this, but what do? I feel so protective over this man. I mean man. But what should I do? Should I hug him? No, this will freak him out more, because I'll crush him with my manly arms. Shit, I guess the best thing to do is just apologize. Take a deep breath and steel myself. Hey, Fang. I said to get his attention. He doesn't look up and he stops breathing as rapidly. He didn't mean to hurt you like that. I'm sorry. I was slow and clumsy, but I'm able to speak without choking like last time. Again, this Anon feels way more jock. He has way more jock energy to the point that I don't believe the bullying got to him. I am legitimately confused that this version of Anon, who has a lot more physicality, a lot more social-emotional confidence, like, was that easy of a target for bullying, especially for being gay, which, remember, in this day and age is like a whole other topic. People forget this, right? But in 18 years, if you start and you finish high school, 4 entire years worth of students have gone in and out. I don't mean like, I mean like from when you were born, when you were 4, an entire person has gone from first and graduated. From 4 to 8, that's another graduation. 8 to 12, another graduation. 12 to 16, another graduation. When you sign up to high school, you know what I mean? Like, that loop is back to sophomore or junior year. That is weird to think about, right? The person born the person who finished high school when you were born is like having a sophisticated job because they're 36. And again, that's why I think that culture has to rapidly cycle, especially under pressure of social media. It cannot stay like it was in the 90s. Technology and just the environment itself have so dramatically altered. Why do you think people are like trying to get teachers to go like, hey, if a kid tells you he's LGBT, you have to tell the parents? Because that shit's picking up, not because it's less. Also, fuck telling those guys as parents. Fuck them. Legitimately feel that as a parent, while you have, I'm not saying you have the right to know. I feel you have a courtesy to know, but you don't have a right. Because at some point, your kid's going to live their own life, and they're allowed to tell you to go fuck yourself. And what they don't tell you up until that point is to them. If you're going to be an asshole, it doesn't matter who they are. You're still an asshole. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I didn't mean to hurt you like that. I'm sorry. Is something wrong with your wings? I asked cautiously. Honestly, Jesus, don't use 2 adverbs like that. Honestly, I have no... And is it an adverb? I don't think that's an adverb in that context. I don't know what it actually would be then. It's still an adverb, technically. Yeah. According to... let me pick out the Cambridge Dictionary. Fuck off, dictionary. No, it's an adverb. That's apparently an adverb. I don't know what verb it's adding to, but whatever. I have no idea if there's some sort of dino taboo to break up. No, the tails are the taboo. The wings are fair game. Fang takes a few deep breaths before stretching his wings back to normal. He's still curled up into a ball, but he finally lets speak. Again, we got a weird comma period. Like I said, I think the overall writing is a lot better than Tory Game in terms of it's actually fucking going places, meeting people, Dunder Mifflin. There's a lot of like weird grammatical and punctuation things that are weird. You're human. You're a human. Am I a human? And you wouldn't understand. He quietly explains. What's that supposed to mean? Quick look to see if his wings. They look normal to me. You can't fly with them? Fang quickly shakes his head and sighs. I feel like you can get rid of this. Just have Fang quickly shake his head and sigh. That's all you need. There's a lot less of this, like, redundancy. And then in Tori again, which really just likes talking its ass off because it's got 10,000 words to a fucking chapter. It's gotta get going. No. Territory's been able to fly for thousands of years. Considering your calendar counts millions, that's really short. Like, that could be around the years of Jesus. He gently flaps his wings to accent his point. I didn't know that. I mean, I've met like two, and neither of them have, two dinos, and they didn't have any wings. Huh, I didn't know that. Fang suddenly sits up from the bench and looks at me, menacingly. I have to go, bye. And blurts out before walking away. I want to stop him, but I can't force my mouth to move, or my legs to work. And just like that, he's disappeared into the school. Fuck! Kick the nearby trash can over to vent my frustration. I feel like such a piece of shit right now. Whatever. Bell rings and it's time for home. While I'm leaving the garden, I noticed one of Fang's feathers on the ground. Must have fallen while he walked away. Gently reached down to pick it up. It feels remarkably soft in my palm, like the feathers on a good pillow. How would you know what a good pillow feels like? I don't know why, but it feels good to have a little part of him. Okay, that's a little creepy, Anon. Man, did you just watch, what was it called again? There's another fic where Anon has like a feather necklace, and everyone is like, that's such a big deal, Anon. You've practically sucked her dick. You're practically married with 5 children if you do that, Anon. I don't like that. I like that one. I think it's Promise of a Lifetime. I like that one because it goes so fucking far. I also hate it because it's so fucking stupid with its world building. I think I'm going to do that one next. I already have the art laying right over there. But what I really like about it is that it's just so fucking dumb. You know, I've said before, don't bore me and I'll be good. The worst thing you can be as media is boring. And being long in the tooth or verbose or purple prosy are like the best ways to be super boring and just annoy people. And I think you know what? We'll do Promise of a Lifetime after this. The thing's going so goddamn easy, we might as well plan ahead. The rest of the school day went by with no issues. I'd hoped to talk to Fang in science class, but he just kept his head on his desk the whole period. How does he do that with that snout? I wanted to go over and talk it. I really don't know why I keep doing it. I wanted to go and talk it over. I just couldn't build up the courage to approach him. What if I said something that made him feel worse? So I ended up not talking to him at all. He'll approach me when he's ready to talk. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Regardless, it's lunch, which means it's time to go see Naomi and Nasser. They've both been growing on me the past week, but Naomi can still be a bit much, especially with her constant positivity and questions. It can feel like getting your teeth pulled sometimes. I mean, that's because she keeps telling you to eat less sugar, and your teeth are terrible. She needs to get them out. As I walk over and notice their knees. Both of them are huddled together, talking in hushed tones that I can't make out. Poor Nasser looks like he'd been through the ringer lately. I think it's ringer with a W. Because you've been through the ringer, right? Like the device that rings things and squeezes them. Through the ringer. Yeah, it's through the ringer. Is it through the ringer then? Let me put it in there. Yeah, it is a ringer. Because ringers are used for laundry, right? Because your laundry was full of water. And back then they didn't have dryers, so they put these two rollers together and put a little handle on it and it goes and you squeeze the water out because water is a fluid and it takes up space. And if you compress cloth, you know, if you wring them out, it comes out. Although I can see why you think the ringer, because the W's so goddamn silent. Just like right. W doesn't want to be here. Where's the W? Where? Shit. We didn't get into another shouting match with Fang. As I sit down, as I walk over, as I sit down, I don't want to watch that. Also, again, inconsistency in when this guy does fucking new paragraphs and to new lines. As I sit down, the conversation stops, and all eyes. It's 2 people, man. 4 eyes. Just fucking wonderful. Naomi is the first to talk, as always. Anon, it's so good to see you. I was hoping we could. Anon, we need to talk. Nasser interrupted, and I looked over at him. He's holding a razor-focused glare directly at me. God, fuck, I can't help but recoil from my gaze. Fang texted me in the first period that he wanted to go home. I was able to convince him to stay, but he wouldn't tell me why I wanted to leave. Nasser quickly states with an accusatory tone. Now you're gonna tell me what the hell you did, okay? Fuck, man, it has to be about wings, doesn't it? He deflated and looked down at the floor before talking. Why can't you just look down at the floor while talking? Why does it always have to be before people do something? Why can't you say that your gaze falls down as you talk, like you lose confidence mid? I can't force myself to hold his gaze as I explain what happened. No, no, that is factually wrong. You look down before you were talking. This implies, as I explained, implies that. I mean, no, Safi, shut the hell up. You're being a pedant. Technically speaking, this can mean that he can't hold the look while he's doing the explaining at all, instead of as during the process of the explaining. Safi, it's conditional, not a process. We were joking around like normal, but then I said something about his wings, and he just locked up. I forced myself to look at the two to see their reactions. Nasser and Naomi both looked shocked. Like I might as well have told them both I kicked Fang in the head or something. I mean, he's a guy. Why don't you say kicked him in the balls? Can we bring up the testicles, please? And I was pretty upset by it, but he wouldn't tell me why and just left. I finished and they rubbed the back of my neck. God, the amount of people that are rubbing the back of their neck. Fucking polished up there. Polished peak. Naomi and Nasser both share a look. What kind of look? Can you describe this look for us? Naomi squeezes Nasser's hand as he looks back at me and begins to talk. I fucking hate this sentence structure. Naomi squeezes Nasser's hand. So we're switching to Nasser's perspective as of action. So he's looking back. And then he begins to talk. Like, the problem I have with this is that it feels like A, B, C. It's 3 separate actions being taken that are completely disconnected. Why can't he just start talking to you? Why do you have to tell me that he's looking at you first? Like, I get it, they just shared a look, but, like, this kind of... you can put it on this line, too. Like, give him that hesitation, that slight moment where he, like... where the hand is squeezed, and Asa looks away, they're still sharing this look, and then as he breaks the look, he looks back, to give that implication that he needs to find strength in his girlfriend, you know, give Naomi some emotional fortitude to give him, I don't know, maybe fucking have some characteristics going on, subtly imply that people have relationships, I don't know. Anon, have you ever noticed that my wings are different from Fang's? Naomi, Nasser carefully asks. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but never thought of it. Some dinosaurs are different, you know. Some are made of leather, some are made of cloth. No, wait, that was a prosthetic. Yeah, he's sack. He has feathers. You don't, answer plainly. Nasser pauses for a second as he searches for the right words to respond. Do you know what that means? He leans in closer. Why is he leaning closer? Shouldn't he be, like, leaning backwards a little bit? Because this is, like, a big thing to ask, so he wants to create some emotion. I'm just saying that, like, the theatrics you're introducing are shit. A screenwriter would tell you to fuck off. You people want to be screenwriters and you're bad at it. That's all I'm saying. Although, this makes sense if Nasser is a very strong interrogative type, which he's kind of implied to be. But I feel that, like, between this, it feels like he would try to be more gentle with Anon on this than accusatory. He might tilt his head if you want to not have him move forward or backwards. It also depends on how you're filming the scene. Like, what's the camera like at this moment? Which doesn't make any fucking sense if you're writing. But if you're making a screenplay. Even in a screenplay, you don't really do that. Screenplays are very barren. People don't know this, but, like, actual movie scripts are so fucking barren. A lot of it is directors and choreography. There's a reason a director looks at the camera a lot and tries a lot of shots. Because, you know what? It's really fucking hard to know what a camera sees and give stage directions and shit. There's a reason why a script is barren as all hell. And why acting is like 90% knowing what the fuck to do in front of an audience. And like 10% skill and 20% concentrated power of luck. And 50% Will Smith, for some reason. Yeah, I got nothing. But whatever it is, must be pretty serious to him if he's so touchy about it. Just shake my head in response. Fang shouldn't have feathered wings like that. Should have wings like mine since we're both dudes. Oh, so Fang is a fucking chick. I said before, and I'm gonna stop the music because this chapter is gonna get a very fun little thing. Fang isn't a girl, isn't a guy. Fang is intersex. At this point, I don't fucking care if you're one of those weirdo goobers who's like, it's all about the genitals. If a guy has tits, he's not a male in that strict biological sense. If you're going to go that way, if you're going by sexual dimorphism, right? Women got the tatas. Guys do not. That's an intersex. Is he still a guy? That's up to him. That's what gender is about. Gender's about that. Sex is about what's going on over here. And the binary says the guys are flat. That's how most people imagine a guy if you ask them to imagine a guy. If you ask someone to imagine a guy and he gives you a trans man back, you need to seriously ask who the fuck this guy hangs out with and why he sees them all in the nude. But when you're taught about sexual dimorphism, it's about sex. It's about the physicality of the situation, not about the expression or the personal sensations. with it. You know what? Just fucking scrap all that. I'm an idiot. Okay, so the point is, Fang is intersex. So Fang is non-binary. Fang doesn't want to be a guy. Fang giggles and is remarkably gentle and apparently slapped Anon originally. Fang is extraordinarily femme-coded. And now he has this whole intersex wink thing going on. All I'm saying is that Fang and Anon are not gay. They aren't gay. Fang is displayed as so femme-coded. He's got a midriff showing, which is, I know, and listen, I know people who are in the LGBT are gonna give me shit for this. Shh, shh, shh. We're not talking about that one right now. We're talking to 4chan weirdos who don't know any of this. Okay, we're doing the 101 stuff here, keeping it simple. Because if we're going there, this point stops making sense. And you want to know what happens when we go there? Do you want to know what happens if we start discussing that? I start to complain about trans women wearing skirts to express femininity because I'm like, you're expressing stereotypes that people are complaining about. And I tap my head and go, So what do we want to do? Do we want to get rid of the patriarchy, or are we gonna go, oh, women wear skirts? I don't know, man. Maybe, you know what I'm going for. What the fuck is this? Man, I'm getting some. Oh, cool. That's fucking great. I got an SEO thing, but man, I got some real goddamn weird responses. Real weird ones. But my point is that as I've said so far, this is no longer. I mean, is it gay? I don't. I think it stopped being gay the second Fang became non-binary. I think we're in a really weird spot. I think the correct answer is that Fang does not become a guy at the end of this, because I don't think Fang can become a guy. Um, I might put more in the description, but the fact is, Fang has female wings. This is a big enough deal that Nasser points it out. I want you to imagine a guy with boobas. He's got the boobas, and he's got a feminine body, man. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know. Can that person experience the male existence? Can that person go through life? Anon looked at Fang from afar and said, "That looks like a girl. They got wings, like a chick apparently does." At some point, Fang is not male in any way whatsoever. That matters for it's. I just feel that for a gay fic, you fucking dodged the gays. You have successfully de-gayed Anon in a gay fic. Wow. All I'm saying is that I'm not even arguing this from the LGBT perspective. Like, even outside of that, shit's weird, right? You've already mentioned that he thought Fang was a chick, and now you got this. Like, even if you're not into the LGBT, the modern perspective on sex and gender, as separate things, remember? Even from that, like, even without that, you've already done it. Announce Pan, and there's nothing you can do to change that anymore. Because if he's gay, why the fuck does he like a chick? All I'm saying is that at this point, we fucked up, and this has stopped being gay, and I'm a little angry. I'm okay with it. I'm just annoyed because I know that you don't know this shit. You're not that kind of person. Because fuck if I'm gonna find one of those people out here. I'm not gonna find those people out in the wild out here. I'm just not. This is a fucking place where like some weird Spanish guy is like, "Oh, Lunara has the tentacle," and I'm like, "Ooh, that is like even outside of the trans stuff. That's just fucking weird, man. Come on, this is not a setting with tentacle porn. Come on." I don't know why you're. Listen, I know that I'm the one who's writing, who wanted to write in on being this weird Eldritch Cthulhu monster, but come on. Even I'm gonna stay off the tentacles. Why do they have feathered wings then? I cautiously asked. Try not to overstep my boundaries. You're not overstepping your boundaries. You're overstepping their boundaries, you bingus. Your boundaries are not relevant here. Mouse rubs the back of his neck because everyone just fucking rubs the back. Let me put this in my search engine machine. How many times are people rubbing? Oh, sorry, we gotta put in rub. 3 times. That's a lot for a very specific manner of speech. Again, Stop giving me stage directions. You're not a director, you're a writer. Fang is born with a very rare condition that makes them have feathered wings, which are typically only on female pterosaurs. It's not harmful or anything, but they were bullied about it constantly growing up. Nasser explained softly, not wanting any of the other tables to hear him discuss something so private. I think everyone fucking knows, man. This feels like the way he talks about it implies that this is like somewhat common knowledge. Like this might be taught in biology class for dinosaurs, or dinosaurs might bring it up in class. Right? Like if you're with a pterosaur, you might be like, I got cool wings like this, and my mom has feathered wings like this. In elementary school, they might bring it up in like a cute little presentation about their mom. Oh my god, I just remembered some embarrassing shit I did when it was like, oh, can you do a presentation? I was like, I don't want to do a presentation. Can I just give my old presentation? I think I do. On some level, I wondered if I was lazy or if I was just like, why do I have to do another fucking study on shit? That's so. And nowadays, I'm like, man, I will not stop talking. Please grab me firmly. I will not cease. Sorry, Nasser, if I had Don't worry about it, Anon. I know he didn't know, but just never mention it to Fang again, okay? It's gonna be a fucking thing for these guys, isn't it? Nasser looks completely exhausted from talking about it. I can't even imagine what growing up with a condition like that would be like. I mean, you can, with the boobas. You can have the tatas. That's what it's like. Wear some to school. Must have been horrible for the both of them. I try to talk, but my mouth just is not working. So all I can do is nod my head. Without saying anything, I get up and leave. Just a heartwarming story. Steps up, whoosh, out of the room. Fucking zombie. I need to go before I break down and cry. Why? Because he feels like a massive pile of shit. You know what's really good? I asked the question, why? That came out of nowhere. You didn't hint at anything like being especially concerned about Nasser. I mean, we had this, but we didn't have anything that built up to this. So I ask a question and I get an answer. In in better writing, I already know the answer. In decent writing, at the very least, you answer my question when it arises. At the very least, I already know. Actually, in good writing, you can't avoid it either because sometimes you just have to explain something because it's impossible for people to know. And it's a fun little, it's like, oh, I wonder what's up with that. Don't leave it hanging too long, though. At least acknowledge the question exists. Oh, no, you can do it. You can't not do it, but you have to be writing for like an audience that's like pretty big brain. And like, I don't want to read big brain stuff. It just asks too many questions. And listen, man, I'm not here to solve a Sudoku. I'm here to read a story and go, haha, the gays are kissing. I've been trying to be friends with Fang all week. What did I do? Remind him that why everyone sees him as a freak. I think the whole non-binary bullshit and the band aren't contributing either. Like, this is the problem that I have, right? Is that Fang being non-binary in Snook Game never really mattered in any grander scope of things. It was always kind of just like another thing that made Fang unapproachable. Oh, fucking damn it, why am I so awful? Because you're Anon. That's the point of the story. I ended up walking a long way to the bathrooms to blow some steam and call myself. I've been too busy moping to see where I was walking because I bumped right into someone, sending me spilling onto the floor. How do you? You're not fluid, my man. You're not Monster Anon, who's made of goop, monster goop. As I groan in pain, I look over to see who's towering over me. And I guess that Stego girl from the garden club Fang mentioned. Why is it uppercase now? She stared at me with a big old eyes. Like she could see the contents of my soul. Makes my spine tingle a little. I never liked it when girls stared at me. Because it gives me a hard on. I thought you were gay. No, I am gay. Then why do you like girls looking at you? I don't know. Are you a rampant misogynist? Maybe I am. Do you mind? I ask her. Admittedly, it is admittedly. Admittedly. Why are you admittedly? Is it because your spell checker told you this is not a word and you were like, oh, I gotta put a hyphen there? That's usually the wrong answer, by the way. Unless you're doing composites. Admittedly harder than I intended. Now, that seemed to break a concentration. This, again, like, it asks questions about how the translation worked, if this is the kind of error that sneaks in. You, she mutters before picking me off the ground with her tail. God, she has a grip on that thing. Just like an anaconda wrapped around my wrist. Stegosaurus tails cannot be that. The way they're presented is very armored and lunky. Like, it's a strong tail, but I can imagine it's very prehensile. As she lets go, I dust myself off, and then when I look back up at her, she's now moved closer and staring into my eyes. The hell are you doing? I ask, which only causes her to frown slightly and shake her head. Is she mental or something? She gently reaches out for something stuck on my jacket and flips it over for me to see. There's some sort of playing card with a moon on it, but it's too long for a normal one. People don't often call this out, but tarot cards are longer than normal playing cards. So anyone who sees it should immediately A, know that it's not a normal playing card, or B, know it's a tarot card. Like, I'm just saying, on average, people don't see a tarot card and go, that's a normal card. Also, they don't really look like playing. I mean, they are playing cards because technically tarot is the tarot cards are used for a game. They are, in fact, a fucking table game you can play with cards. Like, if you think about it, the minor arcana are just a fucking suit of cards. That's all they are. And the minor arcana are just 22 extra cards. 22 jokers. Man, it's like I'm playing Balatro. You've been through a lot, haven't you? She asks with a distraught look on her face. I mean, I have, but I'm not gonna gush about this to a stranger because I had a moon card stuck to me. Look, I'm sorry I bumped into you, but I have to go. I quickly say as I try to brush her off. Why don't you just quickly say it as you try to brush her off? Why do you have to add this in here? However, as I start to walk past her, what feels like a snake touches my shoulder, causing me to freeze in place. Before you go, let me help you, she pleads. I turn around and she's now holding a deck of playing cards. For a second, I recoiled at seeing them. My parents saw me not miserable things like tarot cards and Ouija boards because they could invite the devil. Well, you do know that Ouija boards are like an actual game made by a company? I don't even know. I don't know if this is true. Maybe that was one of those rumors that went around. Doesn't actually work. And it's just like, haha, look at this silly company. Look at these silly Christians being dumb. It's entirely plausible. It's just actually made up in terms of there's actually a history of Ouija boards, but they are sold as a toy, technically. But that desperate look in her eyes, I can see she genuinely wants to help me. Fine, I'll humor her so she won't bother me anymore. As I turn around and walk back, she lights up like a Christmas tree. She happily explains to me that I need to pick a card, and then she'll tell me what it represents. Sounds simple enough, I guess. You already picked the moon for your past, so I'll need two more for your present and your future. What? What the fuck is this card? That is Baby Stando. Baby Stando? Yes. It's related to the sign of Norman Reedus. What? You need to throw blood grenades. That is, grenades filled with your blood at a large extra-dimensional monster representing a lost soul from the afterlife known as the Beach. What does this have to do with a baby? You'll need a baby to know where it is. You know, a baby. Baby? Stando? I mean, that's technically what BB does. He's like a little helper boy, like a Stando. Oh my god, I will never fucking outlive my own stupidity in this regard. Where is my little deck? Because I have the deck. And I've said 1,000 times, I have opinions about tarot. I have very big opinions. Tarot, for one, is about intuition. It is about learning the cards and making judgment calls based on what the cards look like more than anything. So we got the moon. So let me pull up the moon card. It'll take a little bit because I got a whole fucking... Actually, let's figure out what the rest of the cards are. We got the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers. That is such a lame fortune. It's always the major fucking arcana. You fucking lame-ass losers. I don't want to write the minor arcana because then I have to learn. Then I have to learn what cups means. What does cups mean? Jesus Christ, man. If you don't want to learn what pentacles or coins is about, why are you even doing the fucking tarot, man? If you don't want to learn the basics, why are you bothering with the sophisticated stuff? The core point, right, of each and individual tarot suit is it's about the journey. It's about the lessons learned along the way, about the strength gained from adversity, blah, 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 blah. No, that's stupid shit. Two cups. Like that one. Just two people sharing a cup. Got the Hermit, the Isis. Now, the Ace of Swords, again, it's just fucking playing cards. We got the Wheel of Fortune. Temperance. Gotta temper your booze, buddy. We need the Lovers. The Chariot. Ah, I like the Sun. It's fucking... There's Baby Stando. Baby Stando. Just like saying Baby Stando. There's the Lovers. Which, by the way, the Lovers are like a really small part of it. You might notice that if you look at the card, like, there's this giant sun overhead, a large winged figures with its arms wide. It's more like a wedding being blessed than anything else. Where's the moon? There's the moon. And that's all the cards. So, I got the cards right here. You can look them up on Wikipedia if you want to, because I think they have all the art there of the Rider Tarot deck. So the moon is not just the moon. There are two towers. There are shards of moonlight seemingly falling down. There's a road. There's a lobster, a dog, something looks like a medieval dog. You got water, the sky, mountains, and plains. So you got a lot. There's a long horizon. The road stretches to the horizon. The moon is looking overhead, eyes closed, in consternation. Not very contrition-y. The lovers, they're nude. We got the booba and the pee out, and we got a big mountain in the back. We got trees, one with it's like Adam and Eve, because we got Adam and we got Eve, and then we have the snake, and then we got God with the fancy leaf hair overhead. So it's a very strong thing. It feels like there's a potential for risk, potential for things going wrong, but also potential of great growth. And of course, the Wheel of Fortune. Everyone likes this one. It's got the funny alchemical whatever. No, I think those are like Jewish symbols. They're like the I don't know what the I think Hebrew. Yeah, it's just Hebrew, right? You got the funny guy with the sword. You got an angel sitting down. There's a lot of reading happening. There's a lot of people fucking reading on this picture now that I look at it. Like everyone's got a book, except for the guy who's holding up the wheel and the snake. Again, we got a snake. Fun imagery. So let's pull out the major arcana because everyone's fucking a loser and can't be bothered to learn anything else. The moon, hidden enemies, danger, calumny, darkness, terror, deception, and error, instability, inconsistency, silence. So basically, yeah, that sums up his past pretty well. His present is the Wheel of Fortune, which is destiny, fortune, success, luck, felicity, increased abundance, superfluidity. Considering you're not doing multiple endings, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to give him that card because like his story is already written out. So you could have anything at the character, but like, hey, it's kind of weird to get this card. So the lovers are attraction, love, beauty, trials, overcome. But it can also be failure and foolish designs because remember we saw the snake. We saw the snake that tempts Eve and all that fun stuff. So to put it bluntly, my opinion is that it's really about. Let me go along as we go along. Man, I'm stretching for time, aren't I? This video could be shorter, but I just like going on these tangents. I think there's a lot more to talk about. I think that if you want to make a good video that people want to watch, you got to talk way more than they want to, and you got to not follow your own advice on brevity. I'm not scripting this shit. How am I supposed to know? I got my cards here. It was endearing to hear someone talk about something they were passionate about. Like this. I might even thought it made her cute if I swung that way. I hate this. I hate this so fucking much. Listen, I get it. Gay people can still go like, oh, you look cute for a person that I'm not sexually interested in. But what I don't like about it is that Anon hasn't said all too much about Reed or Nasser. Sure, he's been like, oh, Nasser's kind of hot. But you can tell the author is having a little bit of a difficulty just mentioning that a guy looks nice, that he has a nice broad shoulders, probably has some nice pecs under there. Love the flex of those muscles, love the sweat on his brow. What a smell. You do know, right? You do know that a lot of like female porn tends to be like, oh, that smell. Smells like a fat hot dog. I wonder if I can feed a hot dog to my baby Stundle. I wonder if that's okay. Because he's not a real baby. He's like a metaphysical representation of something. He can eat a hot dog, right? Even if he's a little baby. Do I have to make sure it's soft first? Because he won't have teeth. I don't know if his bite strength's good enough. Anyway, this card represents your present. She shows me a card with a wheel symbol. It means you're at the crossroads in your life and there are many important decisions to make. Don't tread lightly. I mean, most people will look at the Wheel of Fortune, right? And they'll see the animals reading. And they might go with, you need to read. You need to prepare yourself emotionally. You need to think ahead. Some people will see Wheel of Fortune. They'll see the name and they'll because it doesn't really strike like a gambling wheel. It doesn't strike like a roulette. Most of us would associate the Wheel of Fortune with the roulette, but that's not really what it's about. I'm pretty sure if you do some historical research, something else comes out. Maybe it is about that. Who fucking knows? I don't know. But some people might look at it and might see the devil, and they might go with, the devil's playing with your life, or you yourself must be wise and hardened. Remember, there's a creature there with a sword. You must be strong, for fate will have its way with you if you are not smart and decisive. You might go with the snake and say that small problems hide in the future. Remember, there's also a snake in the lovers. And because there's a snake in the lovers and a snake in the Wheel of Fortune, you could say that the actual problem is that if Anon does not make the right decisions now, those decisions will haunt him, and he will think he has love and success, but in truth, he has nothing. Because there's a snake in the Wheel of Fortune and another in the lovers, and about to bite his cute girl. Fang. Also, those men and women, they're fucking nude. Anon, can you tell me why you're sexually attracted to this man? I just want to know if your author is gay or capable of empathizing with the concept of being gay. That's all I want. That's all I fucking want. Sympathy is pity. Empathy is relation. Don't tread lightly. Huh. You have to make some sense. About to graduate high school and be an adult. This is sort of the last chance to get my shit. It really isn't. I think that between this and Wani, they really put way too much stress on high school being important. High school doesn't fucking matter at all. I mean, yes, nowadays it's like, oh, you gotta get a call to college and stuff, but it doesn't matter that much. It's all optics. Like, going to college apparently doesn't actually help you anymore anyway. It doesn't get you anywhere. Nothing gets you anywhere. Your economy's fucked. You can just kill yourself and you'll be better off somehow. You'll make more money dead than alive. How does that even make any sense? Like most YouTubers, I'll actually tell you the word suicide. No sewer slides in this house. She takes out my last card and blushes before showing it to me. There's two figures, a man and a woman holding hands. I think that's why she's blushing, is because they're fucking nude, and some dude's like, oh man, got some nice tatas on that girl and some nice pecs on that dude. Hell yeah. I pronounce you man and wife. You may now start making out vigorously while I watch. Kind of look like a genie in a bottle with all those clouds. I know it's supposed to be like, oh, gods in the heavens. This card is for lovers. No, the card is called the lovers. It means that your future will start new. It doesn't mean that at all. Like I said, there's a lot of ways to read into this. Like, you could see it as fortuity, as maybe you will preside over someone's relationship. Not necessarily that Anon will be the one having that. Not necessarily romantic, mind you. The author might be a fucking pussy, and despite the fact that Fang is extraordinarily femme-coded, and considering that you're barely described as being gay in any meaningful capacity, it's entirely like let me hold that thought. It's entirely plausible that you're just gonna end up being friends. I mean, there's marriage written in the title somewhere, so I can't deny that. Listen, my big problem is that Anon isn't very hardcore gay coded. You might say it doesn't matter, like you said yourself, like this stuff's invisible. One, we're in Anon's head, and Anon's a teenager. He should be fucking drooling over some hot guys. Two, this is important. Anon being gay is a big plot point. We need to feel like Anon's gay. We need to feel that problem that he has, where he looks at a guy and goes, that's smoking. And I don't like that. Because if Anon's gayness is like this subtle trait that he can ignore and deny, then it stops being a fucking plot point. And that's exactly the opposite of what you're trying to do with this story. Anon's gayness has to be a thing, a problem that he needs to accept or deny and kill himself in the process. You can't push it under a rug when it's so central to your fucking themes. And I dropped my cards. Great. I love dropping my expensive fucking deck. I'm gonna give this one the title writer's advice, because fuck it, if this isn't some good stuff, you should probably keep in mind. I don't see myself starting any relationships in the future. I mean, you already started one. That's like the worst part of this card. She already started one. It might escalate, but you could have to high school and everything. I guess the tarot cards must be bunked then. The bell rings out, and the student starts shuffling to the next class. I look back at my stick of companion and see that she's moved uncomfortably close to me. Before I can protest, she leans next to me and whispers, "You're on the verge of a great ordeal. You have much pain and anguish ahead of you, stranger. Reflect carefully on decisions from now on." Are you going to tell me about the fate being severed and I need to reload a save? I was gonna. She wonders, then, holy shit, she's really doing it. She just Naruto rang down the hall. I can safely disregard everything she said after that, after seeing that. Now, that fucking Oblivion ass NPC conversation done with, I have to music class with. Fuck, today's not my day. I hate this so goddamn much. This chapter fucking sucks ass. Listen, I mentioned this with Promise of a Lifetime. This is bad world building, because all this stuff does is undermine the core tenets and thesis of your story. You want to know what world building is good for? Good world building augments your themes. It makes people think. It drives a man to think. I don't see how Fang being intersex is like good. Maybe we'll see eventually, and I'll be like, oh man, because until the story is over, I can't actually judge that harshly because I don't know what you're gonna do with shit. But for now, waggling my fingers. Damn, the whole female film was a really effective thing if he just lock himself up at the fact that he just fucking shuts up is real bad. And we got that weird guy. And after that I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna upload this first. I love that you gave Fang this. I love that problem you gave Fang with his androgyny. Him plucking his wing feathers will have another meaning now that the cliff with NASA never happened. At no point do they mention NASA's crippled wing. I mean, admittedly, NASA's. We're not going to go into that right now. Chapter 8. Fang, can you play Wonderwall? So, yeah. I'm going to go and have some opinions. See you guys next time, which will be tomorrow. Jesus Christ. Why can't this story just be nice and gay? Just fucking kiss already. Or don't promise me the gays. Okay? If you're not going to deliver the gays, don't give me the gays. Don't promise me gays. Don't set my expectations and thwart them. You've thwarted me, you thwarter. Do you even understand what you've done? Do you understand the damage you've done? You bingus.